A dream to some. A nightmare to others! But I will give you a message. A message of death!
Oh yeah! Come out and play it!
Make no attempt to capture them. They must be exterminated.
Matron, take them away!
Stardust speaks to you.
The entire advertising industry is witchcraft, darling. The poor old public is permanently spellbound.
Hello and welcome to the fifth and final part of our day out at the Leeds Horror Film Festival. We had started off the festival with The Blood on Satan's Claw, a film from Tygon British Film Productions, and now we're going to close off the evening with another one of their films. Out of the 4 films that had been confirmed for the festival, this was the only one that neither myself nor Luke had seen before, or even heard of.
After doing a little bit of research, we learned that essentially The Virgin Witch was a British horror sexploitation film. Now, what is a horror sexploitation film, that you might ask? Well, the opening credits might give you a bit of a clue, as it's a parade of bare boobs, evil laughter and sinister music. What we have here is a bit of horror-flavoured softcore fluff, a rather awkward relic of an incredibly different time. The film was shot in 1970, it's copyrighted as a 1971 production, however censorship problems, I know, it amazed me it had any as well, would mean it was not widely seen until around about 1972.
To be fair, we didn't stick around to watch this. We've probably mentioned that various times already. throughout these videos, throughout this series of videos. It was mainly because I had my eldest son with me at the festival. It was his first time going to one of these things, and as you can imagine, he didn't fancy the choice of either A, sat on his own in a dark theatre watching a lady with her boobs out, or B, sat there essentially watching a porno film with his dad. That was his actual quote in the WhatsApp message that he sent me.
Yes, it was. I can confirm I saw it.
So, that was where the evening ended for us. Although for reviewing purposes, I did watch this film myself a few days later, having found it available to watch on YouTube and on archive.org. Yes, it's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it.
And unfortunately, it's us. The film was directed by a gentleman called Ray Austin, who had started his career as a stunt performer on such films as North by Northwest and Spartacus before moving on to television directing, where he'd get to work on the likes of The Avengers and Space 1999. When he came to directing The Virgin Witch, it was only the second film he directed at the time, and let's be fair, it shows. His first film, interestingly enough, was a film called Fun and Games, which was released in the United States as 1,000 Convicts and a Woman.
What?
Indeed.
Okay, I don't even want to imagine what that film is about, although I'm sure that our audience can probably take a guess. Ray Austin was really more comfortable as a TV director. Admittedly, he was a good one, but making a film meant that he was being given the chance to work on something that had more explicit visuals. And the end result does have that feeling of something that's a television episode or a made-for-television film. It just so happens to be one that is interspersed with a lot of sex, and yes,
gratuitous female nudity. The film is based on the novel The Virgin Witch, Witches Are Born, Not Made, written by a lady called Hazel Adair, under the pen name, bizarrely, of Klaus Vogel.
What a name.
Adair was also a screenwriter on the television show Crossroads. What?
That was probably the reason for the pen name, wasn't it?
Unsurprisingly, the book is currently unavailable.
Well, I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you.
I am shocked. Shocked! Well, not that shocked.
How can something like this be out of print? Adair also wrote a number of sex comedies, such as Clinic Exclusive and Keep It Up Downstairs. And just to give you an idea of the typical storylines of these, The latter of the two followed the sex-crazed inhabitants of the bankrupt Cockshoot Castle in 1904, and the attempts of Lord and Lady Cockshoot trying to find a rich wife for their uninterested inventor son, Peregrine.
Plot of The Virgin Witch revolves around two sisters who have decided to run away from home, Christine and Betty, for reasons that are never truly actually explained.
Christine and Betty are played by, funnily enough, two real-life sisters, Anne and Vicki Michelle, both of which have since gone on to completely disown this film, refusing to talk about it and wanting absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with it. So, there's a good sign already.
At this point, I should say I have several questions in relation to this film. Question number one is to Dom. Why? Seriously. Why? Question number two is to his good lady wife, Jo. Why didn't you stop him? Question number three is to Peter. Did you not have a veto? Vicki Michelle, of course, getting back to the film, Vicki Michelle, of course, would become better known years later for her role in the BBC sitcom Hello, Hello.
Oh, my little wood pigeon.
My big goose. Oh, René, can you feel the wild beating of my heart through this thin blouse?
No, press harder.
Christine, the oldest of the two sisters, has seemingly gotten her big chance at a modelling career when she meets up with the head of an advertising agency, Sybil Waite, played by Patricia Haynes, who arranges for her to go to a large house in the countryside for a glamorous photo shoot. But it soon becomes clear that not everything is as it's meant to be, and Sybil has secretly got sinister intentions of her own.
Sybil, it turns out, is a witch, and she's a member of a coven that operates from the same house where Christine is travelling to, along with her sister. And the two of them soon find themselves being drawn into a power struggle as the day of a great ceremony begins to draw ever closer, which sees a lot of the occupants of the house getting a little hot under the collar and struggling to keep their clothes on.
Christine is shown during the film to have psychic powers of some kind, but it's never fully explained why she has these powers or where they have come from. But it does mean that she is able to fight back against Sybil when she attempts to manipulate her. These powers also go somewhere to explain the lurid taglines on the poster for the film, which so helpfully point out that she's the girl with the power to turn you on, to turn you off. She'll blow your mind.
Yeah, so after about half an hour of this, you might actually be starting to wonder when this is going to become a horror film and not just an endless parade of boobs and bottoms. But it is Haynes' performance that makes the film worth watching along. Not that worth watching, but it's passable at least. Her portrayal of this smouldering, brooding, seductive and scheming witch is so good that it's a crying shame that it's not in a much better film than this. However, I will say one thing about this witch's coven. At least you get a stylish dressing gown to put on.
Horror films tend to age very well. Even the cheesy ones that are so bad that they're good. But sex films? Oh dear. These types of film age terribly. Now, there is a reason why the Carry On films are still fondly remembered, apart from Carry On Emmanuel, of course.
And Carry On Columbus.
Yes, but that's for different reasons.
Yeah.
Whilst the likes of the Confessions films aren't so much and are looked upon as a little embarrassing and juvenile. In fact, at times, this film does come across as like a bad Confessions movie. In fact, maybe they should have just renamed it Confessions of a Witch's Coven.
They absolutely missed a trick here. Confessions of a Cult Member would be a natural follow-up to Confessions of a Window Cleaner. We're just missing Timmy Lee popping up during the proceedings. Honestly, It would not have surprised me if Robin Asquith would have arrived to do the windows. Maybe he was just... Or better still, get him in, play the role of the photographer instead.
He was the photographer in Carry On Girls, funnily enough. Maybe I should just splice in a bit of footage of that.
That's it. Yeah, Carry On Girls, that's an even worse one.
Yeah. The film is certainly entertaining enough, although to a modern audience, the lengthy scenes depicting sex rituals, let's be honest, are hard work to get through, and are just fundamentally silly rather than sexy.
Yeah, it's terrible. I still can't believe talking about this film on this channel. It's a sex film, albeit a horror one as well. Yeah, terrible facial expressions. They don't help in any way, shape or form, nor does the moment when they are actually getting all oiled up.
And quite frankly, they're wasteful with that anointing oil. I mean, that stuff's not cheap.
Moving on, swiftly.
It's, yeah, I think as you probably gathered by now, this is definitely not a film for everyone, and it's very much a product of its time. A time that is thankfully long gone.
Long gone.
The story is threadbare, there's a terrible sense of pacing. Even though the film is only an hour and a half, it really does feel longer. And there's times when you just sat there waiting for something to happen.
The audio at times can be terrible. The production values make it look like more time was spent on the titillation and very, very little time on anything else.
What is now the worst film we've ever covered on this channel? Virgin Witch, The Apple, Ninja Squad, one of the Bruceploitations, or that brief look at Judge Dredd.
Or Santa with Muscles.
Or Santa with Muscles, yeah.
Now then, what is the worst film? I still think that the worst film that we have covered on this here programme, it is still Santa with Muscles.
Wow, okay.
It is still Santa with Muscles.
I hadn't realised that the benchmark had been set so low.
Santa with Muscles is a cinematic abomination that I would not inflict upon my worst enemy.
So you would rather watch Virgin Witch
yes.
than watch Santa with Muscles?
Yeah, boobs. It's fine, fair enough. It's badly written, badly acted, badly lit. The score is terrible. The direction is amateurish, but you know, boobs.
Boobs. Okay, would you rather watch Virgin Witch or The Apple?
Virgin Witch.
You'd rather,
I'd rather watch the Virgin Witch than The Apple.
Would you rather watch Virgin Witch or Judge Dredd 1995?
Judge Dredd 1995.
So it's not that bad then, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Would you rather watch Virgin Witch or a Godfrey Ho / Bruceploitation movie?
Right, okay, so technically speaking there's two there. I would rather watch the Virgin Witch than the Godfrey Ho movie, but I would rather watch a Bruceploitation film than the Virgin Witch.
Ah, okay. So there we go. That's the pecking order of shit.
Yeah. That is the pecking order of dregs. So there we go. I feel as though I have explained myself very, very clearly.
That's good.
Because at the end of the day, boobs. Still, on the plus side, because we want to be positive, on the plus side, it's probably an ideal film for a festival such as this, as those who did stick around until the end described it as the funniest film of the entire festival, although I'm sure that it was funny for all the wrong reasons. I do feel that From Beyond the Grave would have been a better film to end the evening on, but I can understand why they put this one on last if people wanted to go home.
But well done to the dregs who lasted through to the end.
Yes.
Yes, Dominic did refer to them as dregs.
Yes, I believe they may have t-shirts made.
So well done to you. You managed to sit through a movie that was banned outright by the BBFC for many years, although that was due to the combination of nakedness and witchcraft rather than the fucking god-awful script. And that was the Leeds Horror Film Festival of 2023. So, what have we watched here? Well, I feel that after I've gone so many, we need to recap this in the pub.
I think I would like that.
Yes.
Yeah, coffee is just not cutting it at the moment. It's not cutting it at the moment.
We'll we'll join you again in a few moments while we get a couple of cold ones in.
We'll get a beverage or two, and then yeah, we'll see you in a bit.
Here we go again.
Hello.
Hello.
You won't believe this, but we're in a pub
Cheers.
in Leeds, which is quite fitting considering that this has been the Leeds Horror Film Festival.
Indeed.
Now, I have been to these things.
About 2 or 3 weeks removed from
Yes.
it, but that's by the by. That's the beauty of time travel.
Now, I've been to these things since the very start, since
Yeah.
they were the Leeds Zombie Film Festival. And the period of time where we've not had one of these festivals has been felt, and it has been down to various reasons, including an actual global pandemic. But now that it's back, it is my hope that this will continue to become an annual event, and if it does, I think you can pretty much guarantee that we will be there each year.
I mean, for me, this was my first time. I was a bit of a newbie, so yeah, it was wonderful. It was a great, wonderful day, great venue. Many thanks to Archive for hosting. Again, you know, eternal thanks and much love to Dom, Joe and Peter for organising it, despite the dubious choice of a final film.
My highlights of the festival were The Thing,
Yeah.
From Beyond the Grave, the short film showcase, and of course being able to meet up with people who I've become great friends with at the festival, to Cheryl, to Beth, to Pete, to Peter Abbott as well, to Dom, to Joe. It's just been, it's like we're all part of one big extended undead family. And
Nice way of putting it. That's a nice way of putting it. Can I also,
oh, Dobbo as well. Nice seeing you again, mate. And Trev.
It was great, and I was generally a newbie at this, and I thought it was absolutely superb. The Cheryl and the Necronomicon was wonderful. I don't know whose it was. It may have been Cheryl's. All the cushion that was brought on. I'm not entirely sure, but there was a cushion that I was continually hugging at certain points because.
Oh, that was mine.
Was that yours?
That was mine.
Oh, that
Yes.
was yours, right. So thank you very much. Yeah, look for this comfort cushion because it's not good with horror films. To the point where Cheryl actually turned to me and said, "Are you going to be alright in this?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'm going to be fine."
What was lovely as well is that my eldest son, he was starting to get very sleepy. After the short film showcase and during the Stephen King documentary, he was actually starting to fall asleep. Not because he was drunk, but because he'd just finished his dissertation a few days beforehand, and he was trying as best as he could to stay awake.
Can I just say actually the youngest of our group, like your eldest and the youth himself, Josh, they didn't. I tell you something, staying power. We survived the whole entire thing. Them two were flagging for various reasons. Some of which were alcohol induced.
Funny that.
Strange.
But yes, we had a lovely time at the Leeds Horror Film Festival 2023.
Yeah.
Long may it continue. Long may this become an annual event again.
Roll on next year.
We've had a fantastic time. Hopefully, in the way that we've sort of documented this, has brought some of that, an idea of that enjoyment to you, our humble YouTube audience. A massive thank you again to Dominic, to Joe, to Pete for organising this. You people are megastars. And already looking forward to the next one. Although, leave the sex exploitation films behind.
No. It was it happened. It was a thing. Let's just leave it to one side now. Let's think of something else.
Let's see more 80s horror. Let's see more portmanteau films. Let's see Yeah, anything that's not the Virgin Witch.
Pretty much. Pretty much. We're never going to be able to unsee it.
No, despite our best efforts.
And we have tried.
Right, well, until next time, until our next episode, whatever that ends up being.
Which we don't know yet.
We don't know yet. Please, if you've enjoyed this video, leave a like, leave a comment.
The usual stuff's kind of like here, I think.
Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Share this video across all your various social media, type gubbins. And until our next episode, I am the Big Daddy D, David Mabley.
I am Albert Murphy.
And we're signing off for another episode of We Need to Talk About... ...
DTFM.
Chin chin.
Very nice, this. We're drinking it in a very, very civilised way, aren't we?
Yeah. Put me through.
Oh, sorry.
Simcoe Solo.
Simcoe Solo. Pinkies out. Ooh. Very nice. Right. Bye-bye.